If you've ever asked an AI to write Terraform for you, you've probably seen this. It looks perfect, it's confident, and it's completely made up. That resource argument doesn't actually exist. That provider version is 2 years old. Today I'm going to show you how HashiCorp fixed this with the Terraform MCP server, and by the end of this video you'll have it running in your own editor. So first we'll explore what the Terraform MCP server actually is, second why you want it and how it fits into your daily Terraform work, third, you'll see a full demo where you'll actually view the difference it makes side by side. And finally, my honest take on where this thing shines and where you should be careful. By the way, my name is Flavius and I've been a DevOps engineer for more than a decade. I try to post new videos once every 2 weeks, so subscribe if you want to learn more about DevOps engineering and AI workflows. So what is MCP? Well, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. Think of it as a USB port for AI assistants. Instead of your AI relying only on what it memorized during training, MCP lets it plug it into live external systems and actually pull up-to-date data. The Terraform MCP server is HashiCorp's official implementation of that idea. It's a small server that you run locally, usually in Docker, that sits between your AI assistant and the Terraform ecosystem. When you ask your AI something like, write me an S3 bucket with versioning, instead of guessing from stale training data, it calls the MCP server, which actually fetches the actual current provider documentation from the Terraform registry, and you get real arguments, real versions, and real examples. And the Terraform MCP server actually goes further than the docs. The server ships with 3 different toolsets. The registry toolset gives you AI live access to provider docs, modules, and Sentinel policies. Then there's a private registry support, and if you are using HCP Terraform or Terraform Enterprise, there's a whole toolset for workspaces, runs, variables, and even Terraform stacks. You can literally ask your AI assistant to list your workspaces or show you the plan output for the staging run, and it actually pulls the real answer from your organization. One important thing, so anything that's destructive like applying runs or deleting workspaces is disabled by default. You have to explicitly opt in with an environment variable. So why does this matter for your daily work? Well, here's the reality. Providers actually move really fast. The AWS provider alone gets releases constantly, and AI models have a training cutoff. That gap between what the model learned and what's true today is exactly where hallucinated Terraform comes from. The MCP server actually closes this gap. In practice, this will change 3 things about your day. First, you get code generation you can actually trust more. When your assistant writes a resource block, it's grounded in the current provider docs, not the memory of them. Secondly, module discovery. So instead of tabbing over the registry and comparing 10 VPC modules yourself, you ask the AI assistant to find your verified AWS VPC module and to show you its inputs. And it just queries the registry for you with download counts and verification status. Third, if you are on HCP Terraform, you can check runs, you can read plan logs, manage variables, all through chat without context switching to the browser. When a plan fails at 5 p.m., asking why did the staging run fail and getting the actual log summarized is a real quality of life upgrade. The big picture is this: your AI assistant goes from a very confident intern to a junior engineer with the docs open. To set it up, you just need Docker installed, and the server itself is just a simple Docker command. You just need to run the HashiCorp Terraform MCP server image. But you don't actually run it manually, your MCP client does. If you're using Cloud Code, you can just ask it to add the MCP server directly, or you can run the Cloud command that you see right now on the screen. If you're using VS Code with Copilot, you just drop a small config into .vscode/mcp.json in your workspace, which also means your whole team gets it when they clone the repository. And if you want to use the HCP Terraform tools, you actually need to add 2 environment variables, the TFE address if you're using TFE, and the TFE token. You should keep that token out of your repository, obviously. And that's it. You just restart your client and the tool shows up automatically. So I already have this set up in Cloud Code with a connection directly to my HCP account, so I can easily run just Claude. And if I do /mcp, we're going to see the Terraform server right here, and you can see the different tools it has. So it has 47 different tools. You can see it can create a Terraform run. It can do a lot of things related to HCP Terraform, but it also can help you get the latest module version, provider version, and other things as well. So now let's ask Cloud Code to actually use the Terraform MCP server and create an S3 bucket with versioning enabled. I will also ask it to actually browse the latest provider version to ensure that it has everything up to date. So you can see right here that it tries to identify the most relevant provider document ID for a Terraform service. So let's say yes to this. It found out the latest AWS provider is 6.54.0, and now it's pulling the docs for the S3 bucket and S3 bucket versioning. So let's say yes again. And it actually picked up that the inline versioning block of an AWS S3 bucket resource is now deprecated, and its current approach is a dedicated resource for the versioning. So let's say yes to let it actually write these files. And now let's explore what it did. So it actually created the bucket and it created the versioning as well. It actually also created variables for us, and we also have outputs as well. And everything is actually from the latest version of the AWS provider, which is very, very nice. Now let's ask it to actually browse the registry. So find me a verified module for an EKS cluster, show me its required inputs, and call it here with those. And you can see it actually browses the registry for a module that has the query EKS, so let's say yes. So it picked up the EKS module from the Terraform AWS modules and now is retrieving documentation for a specific Terraform module, so let's say yes again. It noticed that the details are large and it wants to actually extract only the required inputs, those that don't have defaults, so let's say yes again. So now it tells me that this module marks every variable as optional, there are 0 ACL required inputs, but functionally I must set these for working cluster, so let's say yes. So it actually generated this eks.tf file for us, it has the variables in here, it has the module called right here, and in the chat it actually tells us that this module needs an existing VPC and subnets that we must provide. And as you can see, it took it less than 2 minutes for having this boilerplate ready and having all the details from the latest version of the module with all its required inputs and stuff like that. For us, this work would have taken us at least 15 to 20 minutes. As mentioned before, I also have it connected to my HCP Terraform, so I can ask it to actually list my workspaces in HCP. Now it tries to actually list all my Terraform organizations. Let's say yes. And you can see we have one organization in HCP Terraform, its name, the email address associated with it that you're not going to see, and also when it was created. Let's also ask it right now to list existing projects. And you can see a couple of projects that I have right here, and this is just a test organization, so that's why these names are looking like this. Now let's say list workspaces in the default project. And you can see that I have a single workspace right here. If you're using HCP Terraform, this will help you a lot, but that's not the part that sells it for me because I'm not an HCP Terraform user. For me, it's the fact that you can actually write checkable code that's grounded in the same sources you check yourself. So my honest take, the Terraform MCP Server is one of the most practical uses of AI in the infrastructure space right now because it actually fixes the actual problem with AI-generated IAC, which was never speed, actually, it was always trust. What I'd actually tell you to do, so start just with the registry toolset, let it ground your code generation and module discovery for a couple of days or weeks. Then if you are actually using HCP Terraform, connect the read-only ops tools, keep destructive operations off. You still review every plan, AI just drafts and you then decide, and that rule hasn't changed at all. Everything that I actually showed you, the commands, the configuration, the documentation that helps you bring this to life is in the video description. And if you found this useful, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more practical AI plus DevOps content. And drop a comment if you're already using MCP servers in your workflow. I'm curious what your setup looks like. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.